This is genuinely insane. Okay, an article out of Sports Illustrated from Colin Kane. Listen, he has proposed that somebody be traded with Trae Young, and I am telling you right now, this is genuinely insane because it almost angers me that he's even come up with this, because this doesn't benefit the Atlanta Hawks in any way, shape, or form. And this almost puts a halt to what the Atlanta Hawks have already done this far. Yes, the other day, myself and Chris Tipmore, we talked to you guys about the release of Kobe Buffkin. And of course, we know about the release of Garrison Matthews, how he's gone from the Atlanta Hawks, and all the different changes that have happened for the Atlanta Hawks. But this is genuinely insane. Colin Kane out of from Sports Illustrated has proposed that the Atlanta Hawks, they trade Trae Young for LeMelo Ball, and even goes so far in the article to talk about how this could possibly benefit everybody involved. I do not see how that is possible, but I'm going to dive into the entire skinny of all of this situation, because right now, first of all, this isn't going to happen. Yes, this is just a trade proposal, but it was so absurd that it prompted me to come on here and talk to you guys about this, because again, it makes no sense. Yes, Trae Young is in contract conversations. I think they're going to but they're going to go ahead and go through this season. I do believe that he will eventually get his contract signing. I do believe that he will sign an extension with the Atlanta Hawks. Now, whether it is a max or a super max, it is up to Trae Young. But the fact that they are trying to move this off on people, I'm sorry, I'd have to call a spade, and this is ridiculous. But before we go any further, let me go ahead and welcome you guys to the show. What's going on, everybody? My name is Walter Pollard, and this is Atlanta Hawks Digest. I am happy to talk to you guys today. Again, the season is on its way. The season is on its way, and I cannot wait. I mean, again, it's like a kid on Christmas. If nothing had happened with the Atlanta Hawks during the offseason, if we didn't land the big trades that we did, bringing in Kristaps Porzingis and crew, and Zaccharie Risacher coming back, and Asa Newell being picked in the first round of the draft, and all of these pieces coming to the Atlanta Hawks, I don't think I'd be talking to you guys as much as I have been talking to you all. But now that we know that these things are happening, I'm super excited for the season to start, and I cannot wait for it to happen. But back to what I was talking about. This is completely absurd that they even brought this up, and I'm bringing up the article now. So basically, the article is from, a Charlotte Hornets page. And they're just basically posing the question, does LeMelo Ball and Trae Young trade, does it make sense for the Hornets and the Hawks? Does it make sense for everyone involved? And no, it doesn't. No, it makes no earthly sense. No, it wouldn't, no, at all. And basically what it reads is basically, it's talking about how there are different points of it, different ways to look at it. You dig what I'm saying? There's a part where it's speaking about the contract disputes and things of that such, and we're going to get into that. But first and foremost, I definitely always start the show off the right way, and just talking to you guys about who has been on. Thank you all for the subscribers. We're at 56%, and the 44% that are not subscribed, that is fine. We know that you do see the content. We know that you have been watching it, and we want to make sure that if you continue to like the content, if you like what you see, definitely hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Myself and Chris Tipmore, we do plan to bring that, this season for sure. We did last season, but this season is going to be great. Hitting a year in November, we will be hitting a year. Give another round of applause for that. We will be hitting a year in November, so definitely excited for what we have done. We're at 2,680 subscribers, so again, really appreciative for all of you guys coming in. But again, not only the fact that these are two totally different players, of course, because they're two people, but the fact that just style of play. I feel personally, this isn't, anything as far, well, it is X's and O's, but also personally, I do feel as though LeMelo is a bit reckless, in my honest opinion. When he plays ball, when he plays basketball, I feel as though he's a bit reckless with how he does things. But even in his recklessness, he does churn out somewhat of a product. Through his career, he was drafted back in 2020, so he's been playing for about 5 years now. As a career average, I want to say he averages about 21 points per game, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, 42% field goal rating, 36% three-point shooting, 83% field goal percentage, and I want to say efficiency field goal is about 50%. So again, LeMelo Ball is a baller. He can play. You dig what I'm saying? I mean, his dad wasn't lying. He can play basketball. But if I were to go so far as to say that it would make sense for the Atlanta Hawks and the Charlotte Hornets to make a trade for these two. I just can't see that happening. As a matter of fact, I don't see that happening. Let's just go ahead and be very vehement with that. I don't see that happening. Just think about it. In the last 3 years, LeMelo Ball has played 36, 22, 47. He has not played a full season since 2021-22. The 21-22 season, LeMelo Ball played a total of 75 games. Other than that, his rookie season, he played 51. In 2022-2023, he played 36 games. In 2023-2024, he played 22 games. And in 24-25 last season, he played 47 games. Again, I've been talking so much about different abilities that different players possess. And one of the major abilities that a basketball, football, baseball, any athlete can possess is availability. The best ability that you can have is availability. And right now, I know for a fact, LeMelo Ball is not consistently available. So though we understand that he averages 21 points per game as in his career, and I've listed all of his averages, though we understand all of the averages that I've talked about, again, it just doesn't add up. And I don't see the Atlanta Hawks benefiting if they were to do so. And get ready for more of these absurd trade proposals that are going to be coming out prior to the season and actually during the season as well. Get ready for a lot of these absurd trade proposals because you're going to know, I guess, the trend, if you will, because Charlotte, I mean, nothing's popping in there. No one is expecting for Charlotte to even be a play-in team, let alone a playoff team. So again, we can understand that there are going to be some stretches. And I'm telling you right now, for all the guys that are writing these articles, please, I pray that you stretch before you reach. Like, that was a strong reach. Make sure you stretch all your limbs before you reach like that, because it makes no sense. And I'm going to read this a little bit for you really quick. If the Hornets are interested in staying financially flexible as possible amid their rebuild, they could create a ton of near future cap space by swapping out LeMelo Ball's contract. Now, remember, LeMelo Ball had signed a contract back in 2023. And this was after the 2021-2022 season where he became an all-star. And he only played 70, not only, but that was the only time that he played over 70 games in a season. So again, the Charlotte Hornets paid LeMelo Ball in hopes that he would develop or they could become something more. They did that in anticipation that he would be able to do more. In my honest opinion, that's a very tough line to toe, mainly because you don't know if, in some cases, you got to go ahead and pay him so that you can keep him. But in this case, I think they paid too fast. They gave him too much money too fast, and it just doesn't make any sense. LeMelo Ball's contract situation, I think he has about $168 million over the next 4 seasons. And for Trae, I think he has $46 million next season, and then I think a $49 million player option in 26, 27. So yes, it would benefit the Charlotte Hornets to propose this, or even think about, hey, let's go for Trae Young. He's a bit cheaper. If things do pan out in the now, we can possibly give him more money to entice him to stay with the Charlotte Hornets. But again, I just do not see that happening. And again, I had to come on and talk to you guys about this because it's absurd to see this possibly happening with the Atlanta Hawks. No, I am not going to even go any further or dive any more into this because, again, we are going to have to just call things like they are. This is stupid and this is dumb. And I feel as though if you think that LeMelo Ball is a good option, please explain to me in the comments. Tell me what you think in that regard, because again, I don't see it happening. Again, the best ability that a player can possess is availability. And right now, this is something that LeMelo Ball does not have. My name is Walter Pollard. This is Atlanta Hawks Digest. I'm signing out. Peace.